Hi Year 8. Really sorry I can't be in your lesson today. I've had to have a hospital appointment, so I'm not here, but I will be back for tomorrow's lesson. Now remember that obviously not today, but next Sunday you're going to be doing a test, okay? So what we're going to be doing this week is we're going to be reviewing some of the things we've learned in preparation for the test. Okay, so specifically today what I want you to do is practice that concept of standard form. Okay, standard form. Now hopefully remember what standard form is. It's when we take a number and we change it to a number between 1 and 10, but can't include 10. Okay, and then we times it by 10 to the power of something. Okay, and that, so it could be 10 to the power of 4, 10 to the power of 7, 10 to the power of 20. Or it could be 10 to the power of a negative number, 10 to the power of minus 5, 10 to the power of negative 14. Okay? And what we use it for is for writing out really large numbers. Okay? So for example, the distance from the Earth to the Sun, that's a really large number. It's 149 million kilometers. Okay, we can write this number in standard form to help us save a bit of time. But we can also use it to do really small numbers. So a hydrogen atom has a diameter of about 0.00002 micrometers. That's really small. We can use standard form to write this number in a quicker way. Okay. So let's remind ourselves of how we actually do that. So we've got really big numbers, really small numbers. Put these numbers into standard form. So if I look at the first one, remember what it is. You've got to pick a number between 1 and 10 times 10 to the power of something. Now with the first one, it's clearly going to be the number between 1 and 10 is going to be 6. And then it's going to be times 10 to the power of something. But 10 to the power of what? Now remember, in the number 6,000, I ask you, where is the decimal point? And often you say, well, there is no decimal point. But there's always a decimal point, okay? In the number 6,000, the decimal point actually is here. And I want to move it so that the number becomes 6. So that means I want it to arrive, I've just changed colour here, I want it to arrive here. So how many places have I moved it to get it to where the blue decimal point is? So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. So I've moved the decimal point 3 places. So 6,000 is the same as 6 times 10 to the power of 3. And 10 to the power of 3 is 1,000, so 6 times 1,000, 6,000. Should all make sense, okay? 400, so same thing, it's going to be 4, is going to be your number between 1 and 10, times 10 to the power of, here's my decimal point, I would like it to be here, 1, 2. Okay? Let's do 55, let's do this one here, 55,000. What is the number between 1 and 10 that we're going to pick? It's going to be 5.5, okay? Times 10 to the power of, where is my decimal point? It's currently here. I would like it to be here. So how many places have I moved? 1, 2, 3, 4 places. Lots of you, when we were learning this, kept making mistakes. You kept saying that this was 5.5 times 10 to the power of 3 because you saw 3 zeros. That is not what you do. It's all about moving the decimal place. Okay, the right number of places. Let's do one more. Let's do 750,000. Sorry about that. 750,000. So it's going to be 7.5 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So there it is. Now, what you might also be expected to do, oh, there's all the answers, by the way, is do it the other way around. So here are some standard form. what you need to do is change them into ordinary numbers. So 6 times 10 to the power of 2, well, we've got 6. There's my decimal point. What I need to do is move my decimal point to the right 2 places. I know my number's going to get bigger, so I'm going to move my decimal point to the right 2 places. 1, 2. And fill in any gaps with a 0. Okay, so 2 times 10 to the 3 is 2. There's my decimal point. Move it 1, 2, 3 places to the right and fill in gaps with a 0. Let's do the last one here. 3.7 times 10 to the 9. Well, I'm going to write 3.7. And then I'm going to move my decimal point to the right. I've got to move it to the right because the number's going to get bigger. 9 places. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And fill in the gaps with zeros. So the answer is 3, 7, and then it seems to be 8 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My decimal point is no longer here, it's moved. And it's now over here. Okay, what number is that? Remember, we work in 3, so that's actually 3,700,000,000. Okay, so a really, really large number written in a much more effective, easy way. Okay, it doesn't take you so long to write down. Okay, so you've got to change numbers into standard form, but also change standard form numbers into ordinary numbers. Oh, by the way, there's the answers to each of those questions. Oh no, they're not. That's another set of questions. I'll tell you what you could do. If you want, you could have a go at those questions. Okay, these ones on the right-hand side. See if you can answer them. Okay, so you can stop the video and have a go at them. Right, okay. So you also might be expected to do small numbers. Okay. Remember what I said. If we've got 10 to the power of -1, that is not a negative number. That is a small number. It's actually equal to 0.1. And 10 to the -2 is equal to 0.01. 10 to the -3 is equal to 0.001. They're not negative numbers, they are small numbers, okay, when you have a negative power. So it's really important that we understand that. Okay, so let's just flip past that. So what we've got to do is write these really, really small numbers in standard form. Well, again, you need to pick a number between 1 and 10. So for the first one, you're going to pick 7. Times 10 to the power of, move the decimal point to where it needs to be to make the number 7. So in this case, it's 1, 2, 3 places. And if you write that, you'd be wrong. Why are we wrong? Because this is a small number, so it must be negative power. So 7 times 10 to the -3. If the number is small, the power needs to be negative. So this one will be 4 times 10 to the 1, 2 places, -2. Let's do this one here. This will be, the number between 1 and 10 will be 2.34 times 10 to the power of, we only want to take it to where the decimal point now needs to be, which is in here. It's only 2 places, so the answer is -2. What about this one here? Let's just do one more. Again, it's going to be 2.34. How many places to get it to here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's times 10 to the power of -9. 2.34 times 10 to the -9. Let's do one more. Let's do this one. This is going to be 4.5 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's not 5 because the number is small. It's -5. Okay? So again, here we've got, to do it the other way round, we've got standard form, change it into a small number, So 3.5 times 10 to the minus 1. So first of all, we're going to write down 3.5. And we're going to move the decimal place one position. But are we going to move it left or are we going to move it right? Well, because it's a negative, it means the number has to be small. So we're going to move the decimal point in this direction, one place. So that's going to be equal to 0.35. Okay? Let's write down 4.5. We need to move it to the left 4 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill in any gaps with zeros, and you're going to need a 0 point in front, okay? So the answer is going to be 0.00045. The decimal point has now moved from between the 4 and the 5 to the appropriate place. Okay, let's do a few more. This is going to be, so 7.2 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fill in the gaps. And then put a 0 point in front. So the answer is 0 point, then 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, and then 7, 2. Okay, 6.1, 1, 2, 3. Fill in the gaps. Okay, so it's going to be 0.0061, and I'll leave the last one for you to do, okay? Now, there's one more type of question you might get. You might get something like this. 2 times 10 to the power of 4 times by 3 times 10 to the power of 7. Now remember, I told you a really quick way of doing this. What you've got here is a standard form number multiplied by another standard form number. And this is really easy to do, because all you have to do is, first of all, let me just change colour. All you have to do is do 2 times 3. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. You do 2 times 3 first. And then you're going to do 10 to the power of 4 times 10 to the power of 7. And remember what I said you have to do. This is very easy to do, because all you have to do in this situation is add the powers here. 10 to the power of 4 times 10 to the power of 7 is 10 to the power of 11. So this will be 6 times 10 to the power of 11. Okay? Now, but you've got to be really careful. You might get a question like this. Let's change colour again. Let's go for 8 times 10 to the power of 2 times 3 times 10 to the power of 3. Okay, back to blue. Well, again, what I said is you can do 8 times 3. That's easy. 8 times 3 equals 24. So it's going to be 24 times, we've got 10 squared times 10 to the 3. That's easy, that's just 10 to the 5. Okay, so we think we're done. However, we're wrong. This answer is incorrect. Well, it's not incorrect, it's just we haven't finished, because remember, what you need to do is you always need to make sure your final answer is in standard form. Now, this is not in standard form. 24 times 10 to the 5 is not standard form. Why not? Because 24 is not between 1 and 10. So I need to change it. So let's change the 24 into standard form. That would be 2.4 times 10 to the power of 1. And then times that by 10 to the power of 5. So this just to demonstrate, this bit is the same as this bit. And then we're still multiplying those bits by 10 to the power of 5. And now what you can see is that we can do 10 to the power of 1 times 10 to the power of 5, which is 10 to the power of 6. So the answer is 2.4 times 10 to the power of 6. Because you needed to change it so that it was actually in standard form. Now, of course, if they wanted to answer as an ordinary number, then you could now work out what it is. It's going to be 2, 4, 2.4 million. Okay? So that is what we learned when we did standard form. Okay? So here is what you're going to do now for the remainder of this lesson. Okay? You are going to go to a website, looks like this, Transom Standard Form. Okay, the link for this website is in a Firefly task. So just look in the Firefly task and you will find this link straight away. So you don't need to do what I did, okay? But what you're going to do is you're going to have a go at these questions here. And you notice how there's levels. So I can do level 1, level 2, loads and loads of work for you to get on with. Level 3, level 4, level 5. But obviously you're just going to start at level 1 and you're going to do the answers. So it's going to be, first one, 6.59 times 10 to the 1 is going to be 65.9. So I put my answer in. When you've done all of the questions, just put check, okay? And you'll find out whether you've got them right or whether you've got them wrong. If you've got them wrong, you could say, say for example here, I get this one wrong, 6590. Let's go check again. Okay, so I got that one wrong. So I think I can change it to 659 and check again, and I got it right, okay? So I want you to go through as many levels as you possibly can, okay, and check your answers. When you've got all of them right, for each level, can you take a screenshot, okay, and then upload them to the Firefly task, all right, so I can check that you've done them really, really well. If you're not sure what I mean by that, then message me on Teams and I will help you to do that. But there is a Firefly task. The link for this is in the task, and you should upload a picture, a screenshot of your checked work for each level. Now, I'm not necessarily expecting you to complete every level. I think reasonable would be to do levels 1 to 4, maybe 1 to 5. But if I see a good effort, that's what I'm interested in. Okay, so hopefully I'll see you in tomorrow.